And welcome back to What If. Today's What If comes to us from Nappa saying Elite. Well, that's the question, what if Anakin didn't kill Dooku? Now, there's a reason this is a one-shot. While I don't think the ultimate change is that drastic, I do think the events leading up to the ultimate change in Anakin take a different turn. So obviously, we cut to that scene with Anakin and Dooku. Dooku's hands just been cut clean off. I was like, good, Anakin, good. Now kill him. I shouldn't. And you see that look on Dooku's face, he's like, what? You betrayed me? Of course, I'm Darth Sidious. Yeah. And you just see how it looks like, please don't, like a sad little puppy, like a sad Christopher Lee puppy. Just don't kill me, please. I was Saruman. And Dracula. Oh, that's a good point. And oh God, I was Willy Wonka's father. Wait, and I was the Jabberwocky, and I was one. Oh, that's not a good one either. But, and then obviously you get Anakin just like, yeah, like, kill him, do it. And now obviously the difference here is like Anakin's like, and he just takes Dooku's lightsaber, puts it on. It's like, no. It's like, no. His fate will be, he will stand trial for his crimes. That's fine. It's not the Jedi way. And Palpatine just, he's like, of course, Anakin, you must do what you feel is right, of course. And Dooku obviously is like, now it's like, oh, and Palpatine's looking. It's just he's talking to Anakin. He's looking at Dooku, and Dooku's me like, Anakin, there's something you must. Is that poof? But Anakin then quickly just poof knocks him out with a force dance back and just poof, or rabbit punch, whatever. Just, poof. It's like that doesn't mean I have to listen to you. And Palpatine's just like, good. It's like, Palpatine's like, oh, you're not living. No. You can parrot, you ain't living. And so basically, he releases the Chancellor saying, I must commend you, Anakin. The many would have given into hate and revenge. It's a natural emotion. After all, there would have been no judgment had you taken his life. But you chose to be the better man. I respect that about you. And he's like, why don't we get along? And he's got Dooku over one arm, and he sees Obi-Wan. He's like, leave him, or we'll never make it. His fate will be the same as ours. But this time, Palpatine continues like, do you really expect to be able to carry them both? It's like, and it's a fair question. Even with the Force, that's a legit amount of weight. Because you can only enhance yourself so much physically with the Force. Most of the time, it's for acrobatics and maybe a bit of endurance or durability. Physical strength, we don't see we do see it occasionally, but we don't see a huge amount of physical strength enhancement with the Force. But Anakin's like, it's like he's got Obi-Wan, and this time he's basically just got Dooku, just with the Force, and he's telekinesising him. It's like, and probably he's not seeing an opportunity to get rid of Dooku on the spot. She's like, it's like, so you think you can handle that, Anakin? It's like, of course, it's like, it'll be difficult, but as long as I keep focused. Good. And he's just like, perfect. So, they're obviously doing the same thing they did previously, where they're going through, and obviously Obi-Wan eventually wakes up. It's like, Obi-Wan, Anakin, what's going on here? It's like, your young protege was able to defeat not only defeat Dooku, but spared his life, has been taking him for trial and carrying you. You have done quite the duty training him, Obi-Wan. Well, yeah, I don't need to brag or anything, but seriously, Anakin, the strain on you must be intense. And he finally drops Dooku. Yeah, and that's where all of a sudden the shields go up, and Dooku is still out cold. He's outside the shield, and Palpatine suddenly using the Force as R2 is the moment R2 gets knocked down. He has a droid just immediately haywire, just Dooku gets a shot, and it's like, my words. They don't make the droids like they used to anymore. And obviously, it's a heightened situation. Neither of them were really paying attention. They didn't sense that subtle use of the Force from Palpatine. And then now the whole scene after that plays out the same. Grievous, oh, wait, let me get the Grievous voice. Oh, the negotiator. Jedi scum. Which, that's one of the reasons I don't like the Clone Wars. They really make it seem like this was the first time those guys had met. And the Clone Wars, which is canon, that wasn't the case. And also, Clone Wars made Grievous out to be a lot more of an incompetent tool. I like the Terran Aronofsky Clone Wars. That's a good Clone Wars series. No, I couldn't really get into the outlet CGI one that much. Anyways, they land another happy landing. So now we see the whole issue with Anakin and Palpatine. Palpatine wasn't able to push Anakin that bit further. Don't get me wrong. Anakin is still very much being manipulated by Palpatine. He's still very much concerned about Padme. But obviously, everything that Palpatine pushes Anakin to do is that next step further. And taking the life of Dooku pretty much in cold blood at that point, that was a big step, but he didn't do it. So now Palpatine's kind of just got to rearrange things. He knows about Padme, obviously. And I think that is where he targets Anakin instead of just, prodding and poking. Because he knows Anakin's not quite there yet. And he still doesn't. You ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Darth Plagueis was a dark master that is so skilled and knowledgeable with the Force he could influence the midichlorians and living beings to create life. The only thing he became so powerful, the only thing he ever feared was losing his power, which eventually he did. Again, you'd think I've seen the movie a couple times. He was killed by his apprentice in his sleep. By the way, I love that look he has in that scene too, where he just he has to laugh at himself with that smile. It's like, it's funny. It's like, it's funny. He could stop everyone, prevent anyone else from dying, but not himself. Man, Ian McDiarmid. Say what you will about the prequels and the Rise of Skywalker. Ian McDiarmid's always just a freaking joy to watch play that character. Especially in Revenge of the Sith. In Revenge of the Sith, he is just going all out ham. And that ham's so good, your cholesterol just keep rising, but you eat that ham. So good. Sweet and salty. Anywho, honey glazed. But yeah, I do believe where he targets is he has to be a bit more finesse. I think he subtly is influencing Padme a bit with the Force, for her newborn children as well. He's making her health a bit of a question, and making it seem because he's had visions of Anakin's had visions of her dying, and I'm sure we know he told Padme this or Palpatine this, if I'm not mistaken. We never see the scene, but I have to imagine he told because he considers Palpatine a very good friend. I have to assume he told him about it. Before, obviously, he knew he was a Dark Lord of the Sith. So the fact of the matter is, I think Palpatine would be using his abilities of Force to influence Padme, not truly killing her, but making her feel sicker and worse. And I think that is where he is ultimately, where he's able to again manipulate and poke and prod Anakin even further. Now there is an alternate, and ultimately everything else goes about the same. Padme dies when she dies. In fact, I think she dies a lot easier. I don't even know if Luke or Leia get to see her at all. I barely maybe Luke and Leia don't even get named Luke or Leia. She doesn't even make it through childbirth. But someone else gives them the name Luke or Leia. Now there is an alternate version of this what if we could do where Dooku does survive the experiences on Grievous's ship, which I can't remember the name of it. As much as I love Star Wars and I love the movie Trivia Schmodown, I would not do well in the Star Wars Trivia Schmodown, the Star Wars division, just because the level of questioning they have on this is how if you didn't know it through the movie, you would have to look it up past the movie. I'm I don't think I can. I wouldn't want to be in that division. Inner Geekdom, singles, teams. Exhibition match, that's fine, but yeah, no, not in the Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, so that kind of sucks. But in the scenario where Dooku survives, he'd be not. He comes to, and he may maybe ask nurses or whatever. It's a grievous thing. If I'm going to confess, I need to confess everything to the Jedi as it is now. If Dooku's okay, maybe I can spare my life, get some cybernetic arm. If Anakin can do it, he can get these hands. But and maybe I can screw over Palpatine. The problem with that is before he gets a chance, Palpatine's strong enough with the Force, he could probably just choke his ass out from a distance, not even be in the same, be in the same building, but be several floors, there you are, and just kill him in his bed. So either way, yeah, if Dooku survives, he doesn't survive for long because Palpatine wants his ass dead. But if you want my opinion on what if Anakin didn't kill Dooku, that is what happens if Anakin doesn't kill Dooku. Now, that being said, to continue off of what I just said on the last one, or in the other scenario, the fact that Dooku dies in the Republic, in confinement, not prison, but in their custody, it does raise the question: could the Palpatine is also kind of make it that he dies of natural causes? Honestly, that's air bubble in an IV for you right there. Easy, like a giant air bubble, and he just has a heart attack. And Dooku's old too. He's a human, and he's like in his 70s or 80s as a character. He just enhances himself with the Force. So yeah, it's easy to think that he could just have a heart attack and just go, and make an excuse saying it was trauma. So yeah, that's my thought on what if Anakin had spared Dooku. Let me know if you think differently, if you think it would have completely changed the fabric of Star Wars as we know it, space and time, continuity, colliding together, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria, or if it's something like what I said. There'd be some vague changes, but nothing that ultimately impacts the overall story. Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, who wants to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I'll be back tomorrow with the next part of the Naruto What If, Part 10. So keep your eyes on that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.